Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday so far. I'm so glad you decided to join us for class this morning. I want to start by letting you know that our Zoom meetings that we've had for small groups and life group have just been incredibly uplifting to me. I hope those have been beneficial to you. Be watching our Instagram, check our newsletter, because we're going to be doing more and more of those opportunities to try to get together any way we can. This morning, our class is still with our series Now and Later, and this morning we're going to look at goals, look at ways that you can realize that your actions now can lead you to the places that you want to be and the person that you want to become later. So as we jump into this, be sure and really start thinking about that. Think about goals that you have in your life. Think about things that you want to set to do that with. And our verse this morning is going to be focused around Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23, which says, "All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty." And we're really going to get to see how profit and poverty are more than just financial terms, and how when we set our goals and we work towards those goals, that can be profit in our life. We can become the person that we want to become, as well as the person that God intended us to be. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we'll see you guys in a minute.
Some people are more prone to set goals than others. In fact, some of us are great at it. We set goals like get in shape, make the varsity team, learn how to play a guitar. Check, check, check. We have a constant list of things in front of us that we're trying to accomplish. Some of us, however, are good at thinking about or talking about our goals, but we get to the end of the line and nothing has been done. You're not in shape. You didn't make the varsity team. And instead of learning how to play guitar, you just played more video games. When I was in high school, I would make a decision at the beginning of each semester that I wanted to get all A's. I told my parents, I told my friends, I bought fresh school supplies to support my goal, of course. I had a renewed commitment to my academic life. Then the school year would come and go. And when I got my report card at the end of the semester, I'd only see that I got A's in the easy classes. Same as last year. This happened semester after semester in high school. Then one day I realized I didn't really want all A's. Why? Because I didn't want to put in the work to get all A's. I realized this because I had a friend who dominated his academics, and I figured out that he put way more work in than I did. There was clearly a difference in the amount of time, energy, and work that he and I put into our academics. I was more interested in hanging with my friends after school than doing homework. See, setting goals is easy, and choosing which goals to set is never our problem. That's the easy part. The problem is that achieving our goals isn't always easy. It's tough. But why is it so difficult to move from just talking about doing something to actually doing something? Why is it so difficult to move from making goals to achieving goals? Well, there are probably plenty of reasons, but I think one of them is that we feel hopeless. Sometimes the goals we set seem out of our reach. For example, maybe you're the first person in your family to even have a shot at college, and it feels like a lot of pressure. Some days it feels easier to give up now than to try really hard and not make it later. Maybe your dad really wants you to excel in sports. It's like he's living out his sports dreams through you, but it feels like his goals for you are out of reach. Maybe you feel like you're supposed to be the super Christian of this youth group. You're expected to be a leader, and you feel like the adults here expect you to set an example for everyone else. And while sometimes it's pressure that holds us back, Other times we don't reach our goals because it just isn't fun. It's work. How many of you would say that you just can't wait to get home every day to do another 2 hours of homework in order to get an A? I mean, that sounds like a job to most people. Working on your Spanish homework isn't always fun. Running sprints after afternoon practice in order to get better isn't always fun. Reading the Bible isn't always fun. And saving up money to buy something later is the exact opposite of fun right now. When it comes to hustling to reach your goals, it's a nice theory. But in reality, it's exhausting. I get it. I've been there, and I'd rather sit and watch Netflix all day long. Then, there are goals in your life that you aren't reaching simply because you don't want to fail. After all, if you tell other people about it, you're worried that you'll be held accountable to it. And if you don't achieve it, you'll let yourself down and others down. There may be some goals that you're not reaching because you're not sure where to even start. Maybe the goal is something big that you want to work toward in the future, but it's tough to identify step one now. So again, you feel hopeless and wonder, why even bother? We've been looking at different verses from the book of Proverbs in the Bible. We've talked about how Proverbs offers us great advice and wisdom that can make us better at life. They don't guarantee that life will always be easy, but they do help us understand how the world works and which decisions to make that will actually make our lives better. One of those Proverbs speaks to the very tension we feel when it comes to working for our goals. Check it out. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Here we see two different actions that each produce different results. Work is contrasted with talk. Profit is contrasted with poverty. Work equals success. Talk equals nope. Now the words profit and poverty don't always mean being financially rich or having a lack of funds. Some of you all have parents who work hard all the time, but aren't exactly bringing in the dough. So this is not about them. Think of this verse in terms of growth and change. For example, we set goals because we want to grow as humans. We want to break habits or achieve something new or better. We want to grow as a person. With that in mind, let's view profit as reaching your goal. Making an A instead of a B, or a B instead of a C. Making the team or getting some playing time on the team. Learning how to play guitar, or at least learning how to play your first song. On the flip side, let's view poverty as not reaching it. According to this verse, a bunch of talking but not doing leads to a bunch of not hitting goals. For many of us, we know what it feels like to talk about a goal but not reach it. We felt the frustration of talking about something we really wanted, but over time realized that it was all talk. I'll be honest, this path is the easiest because talking is easy. It's exciting. It feels good. It makes us sound confident and empowered, but talking doesn't require anything from us. It's not equal to us taking the steps to make it happen. There's nothing wrong with talking about your goals, but if that's all it is, just talk, it produces zero growth or change or benefits. Proverbs teaches us that if we want the benefits of hard work, then hard work needs to happen. Once we put in the work, grind it out and hustle, then we get to the profit part. It may not be that we make a bunch of money, but we will experience the good stuff that happens in us as we hit our goals and achieve what we want. Here's the deal. Hard work requires ownership. It requires that you move beyond the talking and get to the grinding and hustling. For example, if you want your grades to improve so that you can show some better results on your college application, then you have to own that. You have to study more. You have to meet with your teachers one-on-one. You may need to get a tutor in a particular subject. You need to know when you have big assignments, projects, and tests coming up or due. You need to turn in your homework on time. And more than any of that, you have to actually do what you tell yourself you're going to do. Once you take ownership, you'll put in the effort. And once you put in the effort, you'll see growth. All hard work leads to profit. That means even when you don't reach your goal, the hard work you put in leads to profit. It may lead to a good reputation, like we talked about last week. It may lead to making you stronger or smarter. And as you learn how to grind it out and hustle, you'll find yourself changing for the better. The ownership and effort you put in today will bring results in the future. Think of it this way. The end you want tomorrow is connected to what you do today. There's a direct connection between what you want and what you do. Again, this isn't a promise that you'll get everything you want all the time, but it is a principle that will get you closer to the life you want over time. Sometimes we look at people who've achieved their goals and imagine that it was simply easy and natural for them. And sometimes it's true. There may be great athletes at your school who don't always have to practice hard. There are people who can make A's without having to study much, but that's rare. In most cases, it takes a lot of work, effort, and ownership. Besides that, when things come easy and people don't learn how to work hard, they don't grow as people. They just coast. But it's not your job to worry about anyone else. I mean, it's your job to worry about you. So here's what I want you to do this week. Start thinking like an owner. Let me explain what I mean. When you were a kid, maybe you rode in your parents' car, or maybe you took the bus to school. Either way, your transportation wasn't yours. And chances are, you didn't always treat it that great. Maybe you left fries on the floorboard for weeks. Maybe you let a crayon melt on the seat. But some of you know that all of that changes when it's your car. Even if you didn't buy it yourself, when a car belongs to you, you treat it differently. Maybe it isn't perfectly spotless, but you take the time to decorate it the way you want, clean it out on occasion, and certainly don't let anybody trash it because it's yours. The same is true with our lives. Sometimes people act like their life doesn't belong to them. They don't take care of it. They don't work hard. They don't pay the price to achieve their goals. They don't own it. That doesn't have to be your story. You can act like an owner. You can act like your life and your decisions and your goals belong to you by taking ownership and doing what it takes to achieve them. You can control how much time you spend working on your free throw shooting instead of playing video games. Pick one goal you want and do something you can control. Then, I want you to do something to work toward that goal for 7 days. 1 week, that's all. Every day, make an effort and do the work. And then, see if there's any growth or change. If you need a visual reminder of consistency, get a bag of marbles or maybe candy, and every time you make the decision to do the work, put the marble or candy in a jar. That's a great way to see the progress you're making. The end you want tomorrow is connected to what you do today. Your actions now can lead you to the places you want to be and the person you want to become. Imagine if your generation got a hold of this truth as teenagers. We would have a world of people taking ownership for their actions, a world of people fighting every day to make choices that led them toward who they want to become. The world would just be a better place. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Today, decide to put talk into action that will lead you closer to that future goal. Hard work won't always be fun, but it will always lead to growth and change for the better.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope there were a lot of great things that you can apply to your life from that message we just heard. Think about it. The bottom line for this week is the end you want tomorrow is connected to what you do today. So as you start off this week, another week where we have to be at home, we have to be distanced from people, think about those goals you want to set. Is it something with your school if you're doing online school? Is it something with your time if you're doing that? Set a goal, and over the next 7 days, like they said, take time to really think on those goals and really focus and try to work on those, because now is the best time to do that. We don't have a lot of distractions going on. A lot of stuff has been canceled. We're all sitting at home. We all are bored. So why not take that boredom and use it to better ourselves and set some goals in our life? Hey, love you. We mean it. Be sure to watch out for more Zoom links coming out so we can get together and spend time with you. We'll see you guys later. Bye.